Cancer, it's Jen here from tarotspirit.net. I am doing a 2018 overview reading for you. So I lay out the cards January, February, March, and so on, and used a different deck for each quarter, but I'm going to freestyle a little more instead of just going card by card by card because I find it kind of disrupts my flow. And I don't want to do it that way. So one theme right off the bat that's really interesting I'm seeing. So in the first row you have the Seven of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Seven of Swords, and the Emperor. So I feel like a couple of things came to me. One is the Seven of Swords for me is always, well, you have the Seven of Wands, which is defending yourself, but there are different ways to defend yourself. You can just become very defensive, or you can, which is usually what I do because it's hard not to, so no judgment. But it's kind of like if someone asks you to do something, so this doesn't have to be something huge, like you're in a court case or something, but if someone asks you to do something, to go skiing or something, and you're like, oh God, and then here comes the, really don't have the money, I'm not sure, blah, 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 blah. And instead of just saying, no, thank you. There's no reason to have to over-explain and things like that. And I think we worry that someone's not going to like us. And, if we do say no too much, they may stop asking us. And, it's just the way it is. It's just not getting too caught up in it. And yes, you want to be a good friend and do things, but be careful on the over-explaining and the getting defensive instead of just sort of simply stating your case in a very factual manner. That type of energy. And then you have the Seven of Swords, which is about other people behaving badly. So it's kind of asking you, okay, if someone in your life is behaving badly, whether it's when it kind of depends on who it is a little bit. Like if your child's behaving badly, you're going to approach it a little differently than a coworker or a boss or something. But in the end, it's, you can stoop down to their level. You know what I mean? That's one way of handling it. You can try to control the other person and change their behavior, stop them from doing something. You can somehow feel responsible and you could really let it worry you, or you can realize that you are not responsible for other people's behavior. And, often people who are behaving badly try to make it someone else's fault. They rarely, people with bad behaviors rarely see them or own up to them. They're always justified in putting it on someone else. So I really feel like this first half of the year is you being able to not take on other people's energy, not take responsibility for other people's behavior, and at the same time stand up for yourself without getting on the defensive and feeling like you owe someone else something, explanation or something for how you're running your life. And the Emperor here at the bottom of the deck, he's a leader. He makes tough decisions, but you have to be the leader and make the tough decisions in your own life. And no matter what anyone else wants you to do, when you're the one that lives with the consequences. You have these people that are super, it could be a parent, it could be a friend, could be a significant other that are super like, oh, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to take that job, or don't do this, or do this, do this, do this. And so, okay, you do it because you're trying to be a good person, right? And you think is pleasing other people is how to be a good person. That's what we're taught a lot, right? And then it doesn't work out. And let me tell you, the person who pushed you to do it's going to be the first person that goes, hey, throw their hands up. You didn't have, you were the one who did it. You were the one who made the decision. So you better make sure, even if it pisses some people off, disappoints your parents, you better make sure you can live with the consequences of whatever decision you make. This King of Pentacles in here, he's sort of, to me as well, like spending your money, where you live, your day-to-day activities, your health, how you eat. That's all something under your control. And so you have to be able to live with it. And you don't have to explain it to anyone else. I know actually, my niece might be listening. She's a Cancer. Her sister gets the most shit because she's a vegan. And it's not, and so it just becomes a topic of conversation. But it's like, she doesn't need to explain to me or anyone. Like, I have no problem with vegan. I'm good with it, but it's kind of it's interesting to me. Like, she doesn't have to explain herself to me or to us. She can do whatever the hell she wants, and not feeling, like you can't stop someone from asking about it, but you don't have to defend yourself. It is what it is, and they don't like it, tough luck, right? The second half of the year, quarter of the year, sorry. So we're into April, May, June. They're all pentacle cards, shields or pentacles. So you have this 8 of Shields, really working on something you love. I really feel like you're really taking the reins. You're really taking control. The Knight of Shields and the King of Shields. And like you are going to find a job doing what you love. You are going to spend your time doing what you love. You are going to find a place to live that you love. It doesn't mean it's your ultimate dream house, but you are going to find a space, a place where you want to live that has the feel you want to live. You're going to decorate it so it feels good to you, for you, not for what other people will think who come over. You're going to do it in a budget that's good for you. You're going to do it where you can save money. You're just going to become very practical about honoring you and what you want to do. And that is in every area of your life. How you earn your money, how you spend your time, where you live, all those things. And again, it's like you're really being authentic. You're coming into your own and doing things for you and what makes sense for you, being the leader in your own life. This can be really tough at any age, especially when you're a young adult. But even I find myself, my parents are amazing, thinking like, what would they think? What will they do? What would they want? Wanting their approval, it's very difficult to live authentically, and because we're conditioned, whether other people care or not, to be people pleasers. And again, this doesn't mean being a selfish person, but it can feel selfish, and people who are super controlling may call you selfish, but you don't have to make excuses or defend yourself for living your authentic, true life. There's also, though, like this, with all these practical cards, this creative 7 of Cups energy. Taurus just got this, of really, there has to be time out. There has to be a space to dream, to think, to allow your creative process to happen. So with these practical cards, like finding the time, creating whatever it is your thing to do, living near where you like to go hiking, creating a meditative space in your where you live, that you can have the time and space and the motivation and inspiration and energy to have that time to honor yourself, figure out what you want to do, and things like that. It's kind of, I almost feel like you have all these ideas and you're getting stuff in order, you're saving money, you're like doing all these things, but you're not quite sure what to do. But like something big is on the horizon for you. So you may get a little antsy. You may be like, okay, it's like a a bow and arrow, and it's like the archer has the bow back and the arrow ready to fly, but it's just like you're not quite sure what the target is. So you're kind of getting a little antsy, a little bit anxious. And this just tells you to sit with it. Maybe the target that you isn't quite there yet. You can't quite see it yet. And to, again, give yourself the time to think, to plan, to daydream. And when it's right, it will come to you. And then it does with this Ace of Pentacles. And it brings a lot of peace. I know this in this deck it shows a grave, but it brings peace, rest. It's a time out. It's a time to recuperate, to be still. Like you found that area. You created that spirit, that space in your life, no matter how it makes sense to you. And the universe brings this beautiful new beginning. And this is tangible. Or it brings that new house. It brings that job. It brings that, this is what I want to do. This is the internship I want. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to get certified. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to find a job that I truly love in a place that I want to live. And you know what I mean? It's like for me, for what I want to do. And it's like you're really coming into balance. It's interesting. You may have to leave something behind. The Six of Swords, there may be some people, some situations, some family, some ideas, some ideals about how you thought things were going to be or were supposed to be may need to be let go. But it's going to bring a lot of peace to let that turmoil and that conflict and the confusion go. And then things will start to come into balance for you. And then at the last quarter of the year, there's this new emotional beginning. This beautiful, is this a message? So if you're looking for a romantic partner or a new phase in your relationship, that can be coming in, a job offer that makes you feel really good. But everything is coming to fruition. Like that Emperor was like, hey, take charge, but then you're nurturing, you allowed it to organically come about, which is why it's going to be so successful. And it's coming from a place of creativity and passion and from your soul, from you, like you're giving birth to this new life. You have taken charge and are bringing it along. You have this Knight of Cups too. So definitely some offers, some new relationships, some feeling better. Not that you aren't feeling better. This is an incredibly productive and creative year for you. It's going to be really something. Like you're really going to be like, damn, I got a lot of stuff done. Like I'm really on top of things. Like you're getting, it's like this whole year you've set everything up. So in 2019, it's like you have a plan. Like you know what you're doing. But you've really learned the lesson and the energy of the pentacle cards, the discs, shields, whatever you want to call them, pentacles, is delayed gratification. It's understanding that slow and steady wins the race, and you have to start somewhere. And you just start and you slowly build, slowly build. And then boom, a year later, you're like, wow, I'm in really good position. And I've set myself up. This isn't luck that's happening. This isn't coincidence. This is your hard work. You have set yourself up in a position to bring in these amazing things. And the only sort of somewhat negative card you have is the Devil. And this just is a reminder not to doubt yourself, not to let those inner demons sneak in, not to let someone make you feel guilty. Remember, you stood your ground. You're not apologizing for yourself. You're not getting defensive. You're not trying to control people you can't control. You're just letting them live their, whatever their journey is, and you're just doing yours. And so not to let those doubts creep in, because you're on the right path. You're totally on the right path. Very, very nice reading, Cancer. I hope you have an amazing 2018. Take care.